All right, it's time to giddy up. Thinking maybe I should have packed the night before. I don't know, but I brought some old bath mats so I can change my boots outside of the car and I won't be stepping in snow or salt or whatever. And last but not least, ye gates, the boots, and my helmet is up front. All right, let's roll. Oh yeah. Good morning. All right, as you can see, it's time to roll. I'm headed up. I gotta be there in less than an hour. It's supposed to be a 30-minute drive, but it is starting to snow. So I'm gonna head up, be cautious, and see you on the flip side when I get there. All right, wish me luck. How to hit a traffic circle. Boom, get around, get around, get around.
In 600 feet,
No, you do not come to a complete stop unless there's a bunch of traffic in front of you. Hit it. Doom, 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 doom.
Exit the traffic circle onto Romeo Plank Road. Continue on Romeo Plank Road for 1 mile.
Okay, I'm here. I made it on time, and my stomach is doing flips. Now it feels like maybe this wasn't such a good idea, but where that green flag is, right there, that's where my lesson will be here shortly. Hopefully I won't throw up or anything. I didn't eat anything. I didn't take any medicine. And the closer I got, the more nervous I got. And I'm thinking like, oh, Michigan is just so flat. And now that I'm here and I'm looking at this hill, baby, where is the beginner section? They need it. The beginner section need to be flat. Welcome to Pine Knob. Okay, I'm here. I got on everything. I got so hot, I came outside. I think the temperature today is supposed to be 30 degrees, but I got my mittens. I'm layered up. I've got my base layer, my mid layer. I got on snow bibs and the ski coat. So everything has side ventilation. So if I start to get too hot, I can always unzip some side zippers and let some air get through. So yeah, everybody's like, you got your own gear? Yeah, I got my own gear. I ain't got time to be renting nothing. And I'll tell you why later. You'll see why shortly. So wish me luck. All right. Hey, hot steppers. All right, it's your girl KJ with the update, with the report, with the tea, with the what really happened was. As you all know, some of you may know, some of you may have not have seen the previous video, but yesterday I went for my first snowboard lesson. I was excited all the way up until the night before, and I just got super duper nervous. And this has happened to me before with some other stuff that I have tried in life, but it was getting closer and closer, I was just getting so nervous. So needless to say, Sunday morning when I woke up, took care of business that I had to take care of at home, and got dressed, loaded up my car as you've seen in the video, and went on up the road. I was shaking like Don Knotts. I don't even know why. I don't know why that happened, but it did. But that's okay. I didn't not go through with it. I was kind of looking around and watching people. So no, I didn't end up needing the mats. I didn't know what to expect. I had never been to Pine Knob Ski and Snowboard Resort. I had never been to any ski or snowboard resort. So I have seen videos where people like changing at their car and stuff like that. Not needed. Luckily for me, I had packed my snowboard boots and my bib in my backpack. It fit in my backpack. I got a big 42-liter backpack, and I saw people walking in with their gear. So I was like, okay, I'm going to follow suit. Grabbed my gear, my board, everything, and walked in, followed the signs to the area. The thing was to be there 1 hour early before the lesson. If you needed to rent gear. So this was like an awesome thing. January is Discover Michigan's Learn to Ski and Snowboard month. So I caught a really, really good deal. So included in that price was the lesson, any rentals that you might need, and your beginner ski lift. Only thing I needed was a ski lift because, of course, I had all of my gear, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But yeah, so I got there and I was just looking around, and you know, it's really a mind game because honestly, people were not paying me any attention. A couple of little girls, they didn't have the 50 cent to go in the lockers. They had lockers. So I went, and they were saying they were going to run back out to their car to get 2 quarters. And I was like, dang, I don't have any change. So I got to do the same thing. Set your gear down. Nobody's going to touch it. I was about to run back out to my vehicle to get some change when I saw the change machine. So I put the dollar in the machine, and I gave the young ladies 2 quarters, and I took my 2 quarters and put it in the locker and to store my gear while I was out on the slopes. So yeah, it was I learned that. A great experience. I went and checked in, and they were like, okay, you need to go. Nope, I don't need to go anywhere, honey. I got all my gear already. And so let me just take a pause right here because everyone was so like, you got your own gear. You've never been snowboarding before, and you have all of your own gear. Yes, I do. Some people say, no, don't buy your gear before you do whatever. But let me just tell you why I did what I did. So yes, I'm a little bit older, and I am plus size. Now, I'm not plus size like these people say, oh, I'm plus size, and you barely in a 1X. I am a plus X. I have X's, okay? I've got plenty of X's. But most of the time when you go do stuff like that and you're my size, like for instance, scuba diving and stuff like that, and they say, oh, we have the gear for you. You know, you ain't got no gear for me because it's not going to fit, okay? I'm heavy around the hippie section and got a little junk in my trunk too. But that's neither here nor there. So I have my own gear, everything. So I'm not just going to do part of it. I'm going to do all of it because I like my stuff to, you know, kind of coordinate, which is going to go out the door tomorrow. But and I'll tell you why about that too. Got all my gear. I got my ski jacket. I got my ski pants. I actually have a bib because I like bibs better. I've got my snowboard boots. I got my snowboard. And so I was ready. And they were like, oh, you all set. So just what, you know, they told me where I needed to go and everything. And so what I failed to realize, or what I didn't understand about Discover Michigan, was that it was a group lesson. That's not a problem if you like to be around a bunch of people. And it's not just a bunch of people. These, of course, like I said, I am, this year will be 57 years old. So these people were like kids or 20s. They were very, very young. So not that that's a bad thing, but they tend to learn a little bit faster. They are quick, they don't care about falling because their bones gonna heal. They're not worried about none of that. So I was a little bit behind, and there was one gentleman out, and they, first of all, I think this was like one of the bigger groups that they've had. It was 10 people, and they didn't have, I won't say they didn't have enough instructors, but luckily there was another instructor that was waiting, I think on the ski side. Maybe no one showed up for the Discover Michigan on the ski side, because he said, I have nobody yet, and if you need me, I'll come over and help you all. So I think he did end up coming and helping our group. So it wasn't like no one was paying you any attention. So for me, there was a gentleman there, Norm, shout out to Norm, and he was helping me. I mean, literally, he was kind of doing a little too much, because you do need to learn on your own. But he did my binder. He had me hold on to the top of his helmet, and he hooked my foot in my binder, because I mean, they started right away with putting your foot in the binder and skating, which is sliding with the foot that's not in a binder. And then they went up the hill a little bit, and they come, and I'm still trying to just get, the little skate thing down pat. Y'all, I was out of breath. I was huffing and puffing. Oh my gosh. Because one, let me, in my defense, because I do go to the gym occasionally, I try to, do some little stuff. Even if I don't go to gym, I sit up here and I do my squats and all that stuff. But it's hard work. I was so nervous. I did not eat. I had nothing to eat. I had no water. I didn't take my medicine. I had nothing. So I was on edge. I was like a ticking time bomb. And so I was getting like really winded, and I kept trying to take deep breaths to catch myself. I don't know why I got this nervous. And in my mind, this group, we all in a group, I was saying, I'm not gonna be the first one to fall. So I was taking my time, and so Norm ended up giving me all of his attention, which I didn't think was very fair to the rest of the group. So I took advantage of it for as long as I could, and my feet started cramping up, all sorts of stuff. But I told him, I said, get my foot out this binding, because my feet cramping up, and I was trying to avoid a bad situation of me screaming. But he got it out, and he was like, wiggle your toes, and like he knew. He said, oh, this is, it happens. So I was like, maybe something is wrong. Are my boots not the right size? He said, are your toes at the end? And I said, yeah, for the most part. He said, that's perfect. He said, but let me check it out. He said, oh, girl. He said, there's absolutely no reason as a beginner why your boots should be this tight. Well, I've been watching videos, and they're like, make sure your boot is nice and tight. Baby, don't tell me. Say less. I pulled that string. You got a string on the inner boot, and then you have the BOA system, BOA, on the outside, which is a crank to tighten the thing. I had them tightened I was on my way to my feet going numb because they were so tight. So he ended up loosening them up, and that was like much better. So I did go up and down the little portion of the hill a few times, holding on to Norm. And every time I went down, I was screaming, and I was just so exhausted. And I said, look, I looked up, they headed to the lift. I'm not ready for the lift. So I've been out there about an hour. We're going to cut this short. I said, do you do private lessons? He said, absolutely. And so I have a scheduled private one-on-one with Norm tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to that. And I'm gassing myself up, because I'm like, I'm going to go in there and show him that I was paying attention, and I've eaten, I've got energy, and I'm going to do this. And he was just like, I did a left heel turn, and I did pretty good. And he was like, that deserves a high five. He's like, you're doing really good. But what he didn't understand was internally, I was in turmoil and I was so freaking nervous. So I had to shut it down before I collapsed. And it's all good because I'm not giving up. I'm going to go back tomorrow and we're going to get it together and we're going to do it. And I'm going to give him a hefty tip and ask him if he will record because y'all, not for nothing, I shoved that selfie stick down in my sleeve because there was no way I could record and concentrate at the same time. So that is why you did not get any footage of me. I wasn't even on the slope, y'all. It's like you come out of the little, resort area, the building, and you have a staging area where you can put your skis and your snowboard. And then you either walk either way to go to the lift. And there's like a little incline. And that's where we started off, with our introduction and everything. And then we went to they went to the beginner's lift to learn how to get on and off the lift. And not for nothing, as I'm standing there, and like I said before, this is Michigan. This is not Colorado or Tahoe or Canada or nothing like this. This is a little flat pancake Michigan, but to me, that hill looked epic. It looked so big, and I think that's what the problem was. So no problem. I know it's a little disappointing because y'all thought y'all was going to see me falling and, purchasing a little land over there with my, busting my behind, but I didn't fall. That was the main thing. I did not fall, but it was like I had on training wheels. So Norm, I'll see you tomorrow. And I promise y'all, that there will be additional footage and hopefully he'll record for me and you're going to see it all. And hopefully there will be some improvement from the moment I start to when I end. And yeah, we're going to get this party started. And then I think I'll go back like the next week or whatever. I don't know. I can go whenever, but it was so many people there. It's a Sunday. So, this is the peak of the season, I guess. But anyway, y'all, I should have said this up front, but if you are returning, welcome back, Hot Stepper. If you are new, I hope you thoroughly enjoyed this and enough to hit that subscribe button. Leave me a comment. If you've never been snowboarding or skiing before and you want to do it, what's stopping you? Let me know in the comment section. This is a journey. I want to motivate people. You're never too old. You're never too fat, unless it's in your mind. If you say you're too fat, then you're too fat. I'm a big girl and I'm repping. Do you understand? So don't come here and tell me to go on no diet. I don't eat a whole lot. Don't tell me to go to the gym. I go to the gym. I am who I am. And I tell people all the time, I'm a big girl. I don't have no low self-esteem. I'm confident in who I am. My health is pretty darn good for the most part. And yes, I am okay because it's people, I ain't gonna get in that, but there are people that's willing to die to lose weight. Not me. I'm not one of those people. I am okay. Like if it comes off, I don't want to be sick to lose weight. None of that. So while I'm breathing and I'm able, I'm going to enjoy myself. Like I said, that was one of the reasons why I had my own gear, because there's nothing like wanting to do something and you go there and they don't take people like me, us, into consideration that we need a little extra material. So with that, stick around for some epic adventures. I'm telling you, you won't be bored. So hit that subscribe button. I thank you so much for watching to this point. I hope you stuck around to the end, and there's definitely more to come. All right, with that, deuces. See you on the next go round.